Features of Reddit. What's the coolest thing you've confiscated of a child? A kid in my class had a BB gun. The VP noticed it as he crossed the room. He took it out of the bag and was giving the kid a ballacking when he shot himself in the hand with it. VP went mental and smashed it off the table. Kid's parents supposedly demanded the VP compensated them for said gun. Took a pair of handcuffs during second period today. Got a lot of grief when I walked into the office with them. Like, handcuffs or handcuffs? Thinking about the kid more, they were probably the magic kind. Educational assistant, but whatever. A makeshift taser. This kid had rigged up a taser using a couple of 9V batteries, wire, tape, and some sort of button from what could have been a toy. It won't drop in kids, but it was enough to make you jump. I was impressed, but also wanted to pull the little shit's arms off and slap the snot out of him with his own arms because he kept stabbing girls in the chest with it. Middle school kids are a weird point where they are too smart for children, but are certainly not human. Middle school kids are a weird point where they are too smart for children, but are certainly not human. This is truth. My kids are 3 years apart. I've been a parent of a middle school kid for 6 years and I have 3 years left. I feel this in the very core of my being. A redback spider from the gently closed palm of a 7-year-old boy's hand, almost every recess for a month before I figured out a way to make him stop. He was never bitten. What made him finally stop? I told him I'd keep him down to repeat year 2 if he did it again because it's not very smart to kidnap a poisonous spider away from its family. Edit, venomous not poisonous. How did you get him to remove it out of his palm? Did you put it in a jar and throw it out or what? I'd be shitting myself if I saw one. Just had a war flashback to a year 8 boy bringing a baby eastern brown snake into the labs. I did not confiscate it. We had to evacuate and get the snake catcher in. Guess where that kid is now? Jail. He's in jail. What? He doesn't own a zoo and star in various animal conservation themed TV shows exclusive to Animal Planet? One of my teachers took my yo-yo and tried to do a trick she once knew and smashed a window. One of my teachers took my yo-yo and said I was pretty good at this back in the day. He then proceeded to do about 5 tricks in succession. We were all impressed. I was a very casual yoer, and he gave me this smug look and said show me your best trick. I shamefully put the yo-yo back in my bag. Now that's an adult role model. Scorpion in a jar. The kid had put in leaves, twigs and even some smaller bugs for it to eat, made a real habitat. However, he was clumsy as hell and had a top locker above a concrete floor. No way I was going to risk him smashing the jar and letting it loose in corridor. Gave it back to him at the end of the day with very clear instructions it was not to return to school. EDA, yes I am in Australia, but in the south so wasn't a particularly venomous scorpion. The sting would have caused about the same level of irritation as a bee sting, as for someone non-allergic. Live dragonflies. He was a little 4-year-old boy that would never listen to any of the rules and generally just cause a lot of trouble. Anyway, he would catch dragonflies, without harming them. When you told him to release them he would open his backpack and 2 or 3 dragonflies would fly out. The Dragonfly Kid. Well, this is my fucking time to shine. My co-worker and I had a mild prank war going on. Somehow, the student caught wind and decided to instigate by stealing things from his room and taking it to mine and vice versa. Here are some of the things I've had to take from them and return to him. His car keys. His entire desktop computer. Portraits of George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. Pumpkins from his Halloween decorations. His desk chair. His car keys again. A student desk. his travel mug with his name on it. At this point I'm convinced my coworker just doesn't want his car. And somehow, in the 5 minutes between his class and mine, they managed to flip all the desks in his classroom upside down. I'm not making this up. Knives, drugs, boxing gloves brought to school for a fight club, homemade bong, with no cone piece, shiv made from an offcut of some type of acrylic made in manual arts, spear made from a bed frame. I was the kid, an imitation gun that used to belong to my grandfather. The thing was ancient, and was a simple single-shot percussion cap pistol. The more I think about it as an older, less stupid person, the more I worry that it was an actual gun, since he was a policeman. Never got it back, that's for sure. A raw egg spray-painted silver. A live bird caught outside. A homemade hand buzzer. A luchador mask. Are your students the Penguin, Catwoman, the Joker and Bane? A duck's egg, it smelled horrible. She told me she found it in the park, it was winter, she was keeping it in her hat hoping it was still alive. Sorry, child.
Make sure to like and subscribe for more stories.